Good morning, everyone. Let's wait for a minute or two, so that everyone joins. I'll start in some time, a minute or two. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Give me +1 if you can hear my voice. I'm audible, and you can see my screen. All good? Yes. Okay. So I had one question on my chat. We'll try to do that, and there was a request to revise for loops basically. So I'll do a short recap of what we studied yesterday. Okay, and then we'll start with new topic. So yes, yesterday what we did, we understood. Okay, so we had a problem. Okay, we had a problem like we can find out whether a given number is even or odd, right? I can write that program. We all can write that program, right? Guys, please respond. If I want to write a program, if I want to write a logic to calculate to find out whether a given number is even or odd, we can do it. How we can do it? We can do it like we will have a number, let a num, and this can be any number. This can be a number read from the input also, right? And once I have the number, what I need to do? I need to basically check if condition. If condition is what? The num is modulus by 2. If it is the case, if the remainder is 0, that means 2 is able to divide the number, completely divide the number. Then in that case, I can say console.log, and I can say the number is even number, right? You are all with me, right? This is very simple. We understood this. And in else, I can say if it is not able to divide, and in else, I can say the number is odd number, right? Everyone is with me, right? The number is odd number. Yes. Now we understood, okay, there may be situation where a single number, we don't have to run this logic in a single number. We'll have to run this in a sequence of numbers. Suppose somebody says, okay, you have 10 numbers and you have to do that for me, right? So how the question changes? Try to understand how the question changes. Here, I have only one number. So this can be one number. I can say, okay, read this number from read line. So what I need to do? Parse int and read line, right? Read the number from a file, right? This I can do. So this is one number that I read, but there can be chances that people say, okay, right now I have one number, but I want to do it for many numbers. Either it is in a same line, either it is in the same line, or it can be entered as a new line. Okay. So these two things can come. So I have to repeat this logic, this read the number, then check whether the number is even or odd for multiple numbers, right? For multiple numbers, right? So what I can do, okay. So what I can do, you read in this case, I need to call read line only once, right? Because it will read the complete sequence at a time. It will read the complete sequence at a time because it is present in a single line, and read line reads one line at a time. So when I call this read line, it will basically read me the complete sequence in a string. What happens? It will read me the complete string, complete number of string, and this is not a number. This is not a number, but I need to perform my operation on a number. So what should I do? I should basically say break the number. I should basically say break the number, split the number. I can combine this instead of doing in a separate line. I can combine it here only. I can say whatever you read, you split it. You split it. Split it from where? From space. You split it from space. As a result, what happens? This breaks into an array of input. This break into an array of string, and each number is represented as a string. This is what I wanted, right? This is what I wanted. 34. Then we have, what is the next number? 23. Then we have 24. So basically, I want to read the numbers as a single string so that I can call parseInt on this number, and I can convert it into a number and then perform a modulus operator on this. But suppose the numbers were entered in new line. So do I need to do this? Do I need to parseInt? No, I basically need to call this parseInt multiple times, isn't it? I'll have to call the parseInt multiple times. So I can include that in a loop. Now, when I need to run some logic multiple times, this logic has to be run multiple times on each element of this, right? Each element of this each element of this array, kind of. Num is right now is a kind of array, right? So I'll have to do it for all the numbers. So what is the length? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the length, right? 4 is the length. 4 number of elements are present here. So basically, this number can be given to us as an input. It can be like the first input can be the number, right? We have seen this, or I can find it out also. But for the array, it is not taught to us. So I'll not use the length function. Basically, I need to call this for all elements. So what I can do is basically I'll use a for loop. I'll say let I is equal to 0. Why 0? Because index starts from 0. Why 0? Because index starts from 0. If I don't start from 0, basically I'll have to use another variable which counts the index from 0, right? Which counts the index from 0, like index. But I want to use the same variable. So I can say I or index. I can declare a variable index 0 and tell him, okay, you go till when? You go till less than 4, because the index starts from 0. So count will stop a number before 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's why it is less than, right? That's why it is less than 4. Then index plus plus. Then index plus plus. Index plus plus. So basically what I am doing, I am trying to do this task multiple times. Which task? This task. The calculation of Calculation of what? Calculation of even or odd, right? So in this case, what I need to do now, number is not a single element. Now number is not a single element. Basically, I'll have to say access the first element, access the first element. But still, now when I access the first element, sir, give space in space, yes. So when I access the first element, still it is a string. Still it is a string, right? So I cannot do that. I'll have to call a parseInt on top of it to put this number into parseInt. Put this number under a parseInt. And whatever number we get, modulus divisible by 2. And if it is divisible by 0, I'll say even. And if it is not, I'll say odd. Do we all agree? This is how it should be done. Right? Double semicolon in loop. Double semicolon in loop. Yes. Do we all agree? This is how we should do, right? You are all with me? parseInt is white twice. Acha. Oh, okay. parseInt should not be here. I cannot convert directly into a number. So this is wrong place where I have used parseInt. It should be read line so that it can read the complete sequence at a time and then do a split so that I get the number and then do a parseInt. Is it okay? Repeat fifth line. Repeat fifth line. See, if here, what is this is the variable. This is the variable that is pointing to this data right now. Do we all agree? Num is pointing like this. Num is pointing like this. Num is pointing to a variable which looks like this. Okay. Num is a console.log is missing. Acha, semicolon is missing. Okay. Thank you. Everyone is catching the mistakes. Very good. Okay. So here the data looks like this. So when I come here, my data looks like this. So when I put index starts from 0. So I get the first element at the first iteration, but it is a string. But it is a string. Here, what is the value of this? What is the value of this? Index 0, right? First one is index 0. So what is the value of this? This is 35, right? This is 35 as a string, right? So what should I do? What should I do? I should put this number into parseInt so that this string data type gets converted into a number. Space separated integer denoting the respective values. Sir, can we explain the above statement? Space separated integers denoting the respective values. Okay, so can you explain the above statement? Space separated. See here, it says space separated integer. So these are integers, right? Space separated integers. These are space separated integers, isn't it? Denoting respective values. Now, respective values, it is might be talking about something which has earlier told or some reference to that. Sir, why we can't use single num %2? Num %2. Why you can't single? Num is not a single number right now. Num is not a single number right now. Right now, num is pointing here. You can do it. You can do what? If you want to do it on a single number, then do what? Declare another variable. Suppose num1, and you do this task. Num index parseInt in store that value in this number. Store this value in this number, and then you can replace this with num1. This is also possible. But either you do it at the same time or use a variable. Doesn't make any difference. Declaring a variable doesn't takes a lot of your memory or increases your processing time. Okay, so it is negligible. So here you can use a variable to do like this. Either do like that, either put this completely inside this if, or use a new variable to do that for you. Is it okay? Okay, so this explains our kind of a loop. And same thing can be converted into while loop. We know we need to do what? We need to remove this in the front. You remove this into the front, Control X, and put it here, and move this at the end. Move this at the end, right? Now, whatever left, I can change it to, I can keep it like this, or I can change it to while also. I can change it to while also. What will be the condition? Just paste the condition here. Just paste the condition here, right? This solves the problem in while loop. Why num1 is used? See, somebody asked me, can I use a single variable here? Okay. There is a question on chat box, people asking why I have used a new variable num1. Num1 I just wanted to explain that earlier, I have used the parsing and accessing of one element at a time in the directly here. So if you don't want to use this directly here to make the code more readable, this code is more readable. Earlier, the code was little bit difficult to read, right? This code is more readable. So to make code more readable, you can use a new variable so that people understand, okay, here I am accessing one element at a time, converting into 35, and then 35 is done a modulus 2 to find out whether the number is even or odd. This is the way, this is what I want to explain here. How to identify the best use case of loop versus while. See here, in this case, if the length was not given to you, okay, if the length was not given to you and you have to find it out from here, where how somehow like we saw in our IVRS, this in this question, which implementation looks more easy to or understand, more readable? While loop, right? Writing a for loop like this can be a difficult to understand if it is a big code, right? Writing a for loop like this can be unreadable or not look very good, right? It can be done in using a for loop also, but here while loop was chosen to do the task. Why? Because it is more readable. Got it? Yes. Okay. So let me go to new concept today. And this is called, what happened? Let me go to a new concept. Okay. So before going to the concept, we'll do a problem. While doing the problem, we will understand why that concept is required. Okay. So let me copy the problem from somewhere I might have in previous classes. Is do while in JavaScript? Yes, it is there, but will be taught you later. So there was a question in chat that do we have do while? Can you explain the last problem of 10x problem platform? See, I generally do not go to the student portal and see the questions. Okay, so if you asking questions about, you should ask questions about you 10x platform on the group chat. They will be able to explain you because they follow there. For me, it is a black box. I haven't seen it. Okay, so please ask this question on group chat or group session that you have. Let constant where it will be covered in detail in some time. Please wait for some time. In this lecture, I wanted to introduce only let. Okay, there is a difference in how these variables, scope of a variable, how when variable will be accessed, when local variable, global variable, and all. So this is the difference in that. You will be able to understand in some time. Okay, I got the problem. Okay, this is a problem that I want to discuss. Okay, so we will do this problem with our 6 points pointer that we have. We solve our pointer by 6 pointer, right? We solve by 6 pointer, right? So we'll do that. Okay. So first thing what we need to do, we need to read the problem. Let us read the problem. Given a sequence integers, a query integer. Two things will be given. Given a sequence integer and a query integer. Find out the query integer is present or not. Find out the query integer given a sequence of integer and a query integer. Find out if the query integer is present or not. Basically, this is a linear search. We need to find whether a given number, whether a number is present in the given sequence or not. Do you able to understand the problem? Here, let us see how input will be given to us. The first line contains a positive integer, says Q donating the integer to query. The first one is a single integer that will tell us which integer I need to query. Second line contains a positive integer, say n, denoting the length of the sequence. How many numbers are present in the integers are present in the sequence. Third, next n lines contains one integer each, denoting the element of the sequence. Acha, denoting the element of the sequence. So it is like this. Okay, so first line is the number that I want to find it out. So now 27, I will have to find it out whether the sequence is present or not. Second line contains the length of the sequence, how many integers present in the sequence, and this is the sequence that we have. This is the sequence we have. Okay, this is the sequence we have. Now we will have to find out whether 27 is present in this number or not. If it is present, we'll have to output present, and if it is not present, we'll have to print not present. Is this question clear to everyone? Give me +1 if you are able to understand the problem. This is very simple problem, just a searching. We need to search a number in a given sequence, okay? Okay, so let us come up with new test cases. Anything can be given as a new test cases. I'll come up with only one. So suppose I want to find 33 in a sequence whose length is, suppose 4, whose length is 4, and here I will have the sequence. Might be 35, 36, 37, 38. So 33 is not present. So for this sequence, what will be the output? Tell me what is the output for this sequence. Second example, second test cases. Not present, right? Not present. This will be the expected output. Do you all agree? Yes. So 2 steps we are done. First step is what? Understand the problem statement. We understood the problem statement, right? We understood the problem statement. Next one is come up with new test cases. So here I came up with new test cases, one test cases, that expected input. What could be the expected input, right? Then what? Then what? I'll have to write the algorithm. Algorithm, right? We'll have to do the algorithm. Let us write the algorithm. So first thing what I need to do, read the first line, which is the query integer. Query integer. Read the query integer, okay? Second line is read the length of sequence of integer. Basically, it will tell us how many times I need to run my loop. How many times I need to run my loop, right? Third thing, run a loop. See here, the sequence is present in new line. Okay, the sequence is present in new line. So basically, I'll have to call read line again and again. I cannot read it in a single read line, right? Because this is not present in a space separated manner. We already discussed this. The input is one after another in a new line. So read line must be called multiple times. Okay. So what should we do? Run a loop. Run a loop. Read the input sequence. Read the sequence element and check if it is equal to query integer. Do we all agree? This is the step we should do. If found, print what? If found, print present. Else, print or display not present. Is the algorithm clear to everyone? What is query integer? Query integer is the integer that we want to find it out, whether that integer is present or not. See here, it is saying query integer. Query integer. Basically, you need to find whether this integer is present in the given sequence or not. Is it clear, Sudarshan? Query integer. Come on, respond. Yes. Are we clear with problem statement? Are we clear with algorithm? Anyone having any doubt here? Give me +1 if you are agree with me. All good. So didn't understand question. Okay, algorithm 5 lines. Fifth line, huh? Fifth line is very simple. So when you search this query, so here in this example, I want to search 25 in this sequence. I am able to find it. Since I am able to find it, I should say present, right? Here in this example, I need to find 33. 33 is the query integer, and this is the sequence that where I need to find. Here 33 is present. No, right? 33 is not present. Is 33 present here? No, right? So I should say no, not present. So these are the two examples that I took. So first one is the query integer that I need to find. Second was the length of the string, length of the sequence that I want to search in. And then I need to search and check whether the number is present or not. Similar thing I have written. Read the query integer. That means what? Read the first line. Then read the length of the sequence. So read the length of the sequence. Run a loop till the length of the sequence. Read the sequence element one by one. So I will start reading one by one. I'll read it and check. Is it is equal to query integer? No. I'll read the second line. It is equal to no. Read the third line. Like this, I'll go ahead, read and compare. Right? And if it is found, I will say present. If it is not found, I'll say not present. If found middle, does we need to break? That I will come. That is what I wanted to introduce. But let us see why break is needed. Okay. Don't get there now. Is the algorithm clear to everyone? Do you understand this? Any doubt here? Can we print place of query integer? We can do it, but it is not asked here. Okay. So once again, more read question. Okay. I'll paste the question in the chat box for your convenience. Okay. I'll paste the question on chat box. So what it says, given a sequence of integer and a query integer, basically two things what we expect, a sequence of integer and a query integer, find out whether the integer is present or not. Suppose you have a backpack with clothes and you need to find out whether you have packed your favorite t-shirt or not. Simple, as simple as that. So what we will do, we'll open the backpack, read each t-shirt one at a time and check, is it same as my favorite one? No. Is it same as my favorite one? No. If you find it, you will say present, yes, present, or you will say not present. Getting it? Clear? Very simple. Input is like t-shirt. Input will be query, input will be your favorite t-shirt, and sequence of t-shirt, the backpack in which a lot of t-shirts are there, that is the sequence of t-shirt, right? Sequence of numbers, you can say. Okay, is it clear now? Give me a minute, guys. I'll be in mute for a minute. Yes, it is an example of linear search. So Raj, is it clear to you now? The problem is clear to you? Respond, please. Quick. Am I audible, right? Yes. Okay. So let us go and convert this algorithm into what? Into code, right? So first thing what I need to do, I basically need the read line code. So I'll copy this read line code and paste it in my file. I'll paste it in my file. Okay. Next thing what I need to do. So first thing in algorithm, what is the first line? What is the first line? Read the query integer. So basically I need to read the first line of the input file. So declare a variable, let query integer is equal to what? Read the line. Once I read the line, basically I'll read the line number into a string. So I should convert it into a number, %. I should convert into a number. So I have the first element. Next, length of sequence. So length of sequence. Length of sequence. See, these are variable names and you can name it as you want. But you should name it such a way that the purpose of the variable is clear from its name. Okay. Length of sequence. So it is the second element. So basically I'll have to call read line again for the second line. So I read the second line, but it is a string. So what should I do? I should call %. Once I call %, now it gets converted into a number. Now I have this length of the sequence. Okay. And I have to read the next sequence in a loop. Why? Because it is presenting new line. So here I can start a loop. So how to start a loop? For let I is equal to, here I do not have to read from an array, right? There is no concept of index. So I can choose to start from 0. I can choose to start from 1. It is on me. I is not contributing or not indicating index here. Okay, so let me choose from 1. And it should be, I should be less than equal to, since I'm starting from 1, it will be equal to what? Length of sequence, right? Then I plus plus. Can I declare a variable starting with number? No. Variable name should not start with a number. That is the naming convention of variable. Okay. Sir, if I found, I'll come there. Give me a minute. Now what I need to do? First thing what I need to do, I need to read the element one at a time. So let me declare a variable, let element. And what should I do with this element? I should read it. So first call read line. This will read the next line. That is the first element of the sequence. Call %, on top of it. Call %. So this is the first element that I have, right? This is the first element I have. Now what should I do? I should check whether this element, if the element that I have read, is equal to whom? Query integer. Do we all understand this? Equal to query integer. Do we all understand this? Line number 56. 56. See, I need to do what? I need to read the input one after another, right? So first thing is the query integer. Second thing is the length of the sequence. I have read already these two. When I call the third time read line, basically I read the sequence, first element of the sequence. Do you agree? I read the first element of the sequence. Give me +1 if you agree. I will read the first element of the sequence. So basically I need to do it for all the elements, read the sequence and check whether it is equal to query element or not. I need to do it for all the elements. Yes or no? Yes, right? So what task I need to do? Let me rewrite this code. Instead of directly writing for loop, I'll rewrite this code. Okay. So if I don't go to for loop, what should I do? I should declare a variable let element, okay, and do a read line. Do a read line, right? And convert it into a parseInt. When I do a parseInt, basically I read the first element. Do you agree this will give me the first element? Once I have the first element, what should I do? I should check if element, the first element that I have read is equal to query element or not. If it is equal, I will do something. Do you agree? This thing I have to do once I read the element, right? But I have to do this for all the elements. So I'll have to do this for all the elements, okay? So instead of writing for second element, then again, if I want to do it for second element, what I'll have to do? I'll have to again write element is equal to read line, right? I'll again have to duplicate this code, line number 56 to 60. So instead of this, what I will do, I'll put this line into a loop. I'll put these lines into a loop. So how many times this loop should run? This loop should run the length of the sequence, right? So I'll declare an iterator variable I, which will start from 1, and it should run till length of the sequence, I plus plus. Instead of writing it multiple times, duplicate code, I'll put it inside a body of loop. This is what I did. Is it clear now? Why for loop and why it starts from something I is equal to 0, something I is equal to 1. Sir, I have, what was the question? You are missing let I. Yes, let I have been, right? What was the question? Sir, I have little confusion. Sometimes it was. Yes, I'll come there. Give me a minute. I'll come there. Some query like can equal to will come here. Yes, equal to will come here. And people are asking why sometimes 0 and 1. See, in the previous example, you can see here. Here, I wanted to read it from the, where is my loop for loop? No, I don't have a, is it? No. See, why it is 1? I explained, right? In some cases, I need to read it from a line, from a loop. So here I needed to read it from the array, right? I needed to read it from an array. Are you getting it? I need to read it from an array. So if I sir, you're missing is equal to, yes, length, yes. Sir, if we put it in, is it right? Element plus query integer. No. Divisible. No, because it can be a multiple also. So there is a question that can we put elements slash division of the query integer? No, that can confuse things. This is simple way to do it. Now try to understand why I have used 0, 1. I can use 0 also, I can use 1 also here. Why? Because I variable is not used anything here, anything. I here is only used to count how many times for loop has run. Okay. I has been used to only count how many times this variable has run. But in this case, if I use for loop, basically the index variable, the I variable can be used to refer to the index of the array also. So here it is must. If I use the same variable, I should start from 0 and go till the length of the array, right? But here I'm not using I variable. Am I using I variable anywhere inside the loop? Am I using I variable inside the loop? No, right? So basically, try to understand. Here I can start from 0 or 10 or 20, whatever I want. I don't care. But if I want to use I somewhere in the loop, then I'll have to make sure that I start it from where I want. Like in the previous example, I wanted to start it from 0. I wanted to start it from 0. Okay. Is it clear till now? What we have done here? We have read the element and now I'm trying to find out whether the query integer is equal to that element or not, right? Is it clear, guys? Give me +1 if it is clear till now. Yes. So what should we do now? Now let us go back to our example. Let us go back to our that example. Searching a favorite T-shirt inside a backpack. Now, while you start the search, while you start searching your favorite T-shirt in the backpack of T-shirt, do you continue to find it out even if you find it one? So you started, you compared the first element, first T-shirt, it is not your favorite T-shirt. Second T-shirt, it is not your favorite T-shirt. Third T-shirt, oh, I found it. So you stop there or you still continue to keep on finding? Tell me. You stop, right? You stop there. I don't need to continue. I found the T-shirt that I am looking for, right? Do you all agree with me? Give me +1 if you agree. Once we find the favorite T-shirt, we should stop our search, isn't it? So what to do? There was a question that division query in element by query element is correct. I'm not saying it is not correct. I'm saying it is correct way, but we should go with simple division. Why go by division? It will complicate the things, right? So go with double is equal to. Okay. Okay. So what we know here, once we find the element, we should stop our query. We should stop our query. Now, how to stop the loop in between? How to stop the loop in between? That is done by using a break keyword. This is a new element, break. Break does what? It basically breaks. When break is hit, it basically stops the loop and comes at line number 65. Whatever is written here, basically the control will come here. The control will come here. When break is encountered, the control will come here. So here, when I found the element is equal to our element, what should we do? We should break. We should stop the search. But when I come here, how to know why I have come here? Suppose I am here. I am here. Now tell me how I will understand whether I reach here if break was hit or the for loop ended after completing all the iteration. It is difficult to understand, right? So I should have some marking. So to mark that, let me declare another variable. Let mark. And initially I'll tell him to 0. And if he enters into this condition before breaking, I'll set the mark to 1. Am I correct? Now, when I'm here, I can check if mark is equal to 1. It means what? If mark is equal to 1 means what? Tell me. Mark is a marking, just making me, I am pointing out why I am here. I am here is due to break is hit, or I am here because this for loop completed successfully without hitting the if condition. Now, when you are outside your search, suppose you are started searching in your backpack, search it. Suppose you are starting to search your backpack for a favorite t-shirt. Now, two things can happen. One, you didn't found your t-shirt, so your search can end, right? Your search can end. And second thing is you found the integer and you hit a break, right? So how we will understand at the end how we have come. So this mark or flag variable, this mark is used as a flag. So when mark value will become 1, when mark value will become 1, mark is initialized with 0, right? When mark value will become 1, mark value will become 1 if this condition is true. Do you agree? Mark value will become 1 if line number 60, the condition is true, that is element is equal to query integer. Do you agree? The value of mark will become 1 only and if and only when this condition is true, that is we have found the element. Do you agree? Any doubt here? Please tell me if any doubt here. You understand why? Mark is just used. If mark is not used, I'll not be able to find whether the element has been found or not, right? So here, if mark value is 1, I am sure that I have found the element. So I can say console.log present, right? And else, what is else? If mark is 0, then it will be in else, right? So if I am else, what does it mean? That loop has ended without finding, without this condition is true. Without this condition is true. That means what? We have not found the element. What is purpose of using mark? That is what I am explaining. Acha, I'll try once again. I'll try once again. You tell me if I am at line number 66, how to understand if mark is not used, how to understand whether how to understand whether mark whether I have hit the break or the loop has completed. There is no way at line number 66, right? Can we use console.present inside the first if without using mark? Yes, we can do it. But how you will know not present? So suppose I don't use mark. Suppose I don't use mark. I do not use mark. I print this directly here. I print this directly here. Okay. I print this directly here, present and break. Now, how we will decide whether if it is not present, how to print whether it is present or not present? When you are here, can you directly print console.log not present? Can we do like this? Tell me, can we do like this? No. Why? Because this will get printed every time. Even then, if the present, then it will print present and not present. If it is not present, it will only print present, not present, right? So this cannot be in normal statement. This should not execute every time. Sir, we write else not present. Where you want to here? So for every element, it will print present, not present, present, not present, present, not present. I need to search incomplete. If I put it here, see, if I put it here, what will happen? What will happen? Let us dry run. What will happen if I put it here? If I put it here, what will happen? Let us dry run. Now what happens? Let me dry run this code. I read the first element. Let me copy the input, expected input here. Our input file. Okay. So what happens? I read the first element. Please see, I'm dry running this code. Okay. Please see. So I read the element. What is the element query number? 27 is the query element. I read it from the file. 27 is the query element. I read it from the file. Then I read the sequence length. That is 5. Right. So sequence length become 5. Mark is not used. Currently, mark is not used. Okay. I come here. I start a loop. Sequence length. I come here. I read the next line. What is the next line? 740,445 is the next line. I read it. So here element is equal to this number. Do we all agree? Do we all agree this is the number? right? So once I have this number, what I do, I check whether element is equal to query element. So basically I check what? I check whether element, which is this element, which is this number is equal to what? Query element, which is 27. So this is false, and I go ahead and print not present. Should I print not present in right now? It will display not present by checking the first element itself. Are you able to understand why I cannot put a else here? Is it clear? If I put a else here, it will print for every integer. If I want to check the output, see here. Let me check the output of this file. Search, linear search. Linear search, right? David, let us run this file. Let us run this program. Node, linear search. Input is input 3. See, it is printing not present, then present. Do we want that? Do we want that, guys? Please respond. Do we want that? No, right? We need to only print when we have found it. So we cannot do it here. We cannot do it here. We cannot do it here. So basically, I'll have to print not present here. So how to present not present here? So I cannot do this here. This also I cannot do print not present here, because I need to do it for all the elements. So instead of doing that, I'll use a variable which will tell me whether we have this condition hit or not, this condition true or not. So mark variable is used to just point me whether I was able to enter in the if condition or not. Why? Because if we entered in the if condition, the mark value will change, else mark value will not change. So here, if I can check whether mark value has changed or not. So if it is equal, that means what? I have entered inside it. So I can say console.log what? Present, right? Present. Else I can say console.log not present. Let us dry run this code, okay? So only 3 inputs come, but because we hit the break, when we found the element, we hit the break. As a result, 3 elements were present. If break is absent, then it will go for all the elements. Breaks the loop and returns it outside the loop. So once break is hit, if break is encountered, basically it will make control from 34 to 67 will directly come out of the loop. If break is hit, will directly come out of the loop. I'll explain. I'll dry run this code. It will become more clear. Okay, please concentrate. I'm dry running this code. So this is my input file. I go ahead and search query integer. I get 27. Length of the sequence. What is the length of the sequence? Next element 5. I get 5 here. Then I declare a variable and mark it as 0. So now I need to run it till 5. 1 to 5. Okay. I come here. I read the file next. What is the input I read? I read 7445. So 7445 will be read, and then I'll compare 7445 with 27. Is it equal? No, right? This query is not equal. This condition doesn't hold true, right? So we go in the loop again. Now earlier I was 1, now I becomes 2. Do you agree I becomes 2? Sir, can we write I is equal to 0 less than 5? Yes, you can write. Not a problem. Do we agree with the first iteration? For I is equal to 1, our condition will not be hit. True, right? Then let me use break. Do not use break. Okay, let me not use break. Then I becomes 2. What happens when I becomes 2? I come here again, read the element. What is the next element I read? Tell me what is the next element I read. Tell me, guys, what is the next element I read? 2087. I read it, right? So next element 2086. What is the meaning of this? Basically, I'll compare 2086 with 27 query element, right? I'll query this, and this is not correct. So again, this if will not be hit, I go ahead and I will become 3. This time what I read? Tell me what I read this time. I read next element, which is 27. I read 27. So here, how query looks like? How query looks like 27 is equal to 27. Is the condition true? Is the condition true? Yes, the condition is true. So the condition is true. I change the variable to make sure that I understand that I have this condition was true. Now, once I have found the number, do I need to continue for I is equal to 4? Tell me, do I need to continue for I is equal to 4? The person who asked the break question, why break is used? If I do not use break, basically I'll go ahead and check for I is equal to 4, I is equal to 5. If it is 10, then I'll have to check till 10. No, once I found the element, I should stop. I should stop my search. Do you all agree I should stop my search? And that is why break keyword is used. So when break is hit, basically the sequence, the loop will stop here and come at line number 67. The control, the flow will come at 967. So you entered in a room where you need to find a clue, but there can be more than one. No, I want to check whether it is present or not. There can be more. ठीक है, I don't care. Once I found it. Do you wait? कि दूसरा मिलेगा 2. You need to find 2. Did the question says that you need to find 2 occurrence? No, right? I need to find 1 occurrence. If I find 1, stop. Why mark is equal to 1? Mark is equal to 1 is just to make sure just to check here whether I have found the element or not. I just explained that if I don't use mark here, how to understand here whether I have entered in this if or not. So marks tell me when I am here, marks tell me whether I have entered into the if condition or not. I didn't understood the use of mark. That is what I explained when I explained that thing, right? See, if mark is not used and I do a break, I'll come here. How you will understand whether the element was present or not? Mark is used. Okay, let us go through an example. Let us go through and yes, means we wear only one t-shirt. If we got the t-shirt, I won't search. Yes, second one. Yes. So let us go to the problem that we have. Okay, the example that we had. '62 line plus. Yes, you can do that also. Not a problem. Okay. So when we read 27, we mark this as 1. If we don't mark this 1, suppose I do not do this. Okay. Suppose I do not do this. I do not change the value. I simply break. When I break, I come here. How to understand whether I was able to finish the loop or I hit the break? Tell me. Apurv, tell me. How to understand if it is not there? If it is not there, how to understand whether the element is found or not, whether I hit the break or not? When I'm here, when break is hit, the control will come to line number 67. So I is 1, 2, 3. Basically, I should run till 4, right? Till 5 actually. But since we have hit the element as for 27 is equal to query, this condition is true. Inside this, I have a break. When I hit break, I come at line number 67. When I am here, how to understand whether the break is hit or not? Tell me how to understand. There is no way, right? So that's why I have used mark. Mark will tell me whether this condition was true or not. So when the value of mark will be 1, try to understand like this. When the value of mark will be 1, when this condition is true, when the value of mark will be 1, when this condition is true, right? means it hit yes. So, let me dry run it for a. Is this clear? I will come here and print present. Let me dry run it for the other example where we didn't found the element. Where didn't found the element. Let me dry run this for this element. Okay. Please, guys, please concentrate here. Okay. Yes, Mark tells me it is present. Try to understand this example. Okay. I'm dry running for this example. Second example. So I come here, I read the first element. What is the first element? First element is 33. So I read 33. Okay. Second element is 4. So I read 4. The length will become 4. I come here, I start my loop from 1. I is equal to 1. I come and read the first element. What is the first element in this loop? It is 35, right? 35 is the first element. Do you agree? 35 is the first element. Guys, please respond. 35 is the first element. I go ahead and check 35 is equal to 33. 33 is the query integer. So I go ahead and check 35 is equal to 33. Not present, not true. So I do not do anything. I go to I is equal to 2. I go I is equal to 2. Read the second line. Second line is 36. I check again. 36. 36 is equal to 33. No, right? So this is false. So this will not be hit. I go ahead for I is equal to 3. I read the next line, which is 37, right? Which is 37. I read it again. I query 37 equal to 33. No, 33 is not hit. So this is not hit. I go ahead. I is equal to 4. I is equal to 4. Again, I query 38 is equal to 33. No. 38 is equal to 33. No, I do not hit. Then I go to I is equal to 5. Here the condition breaks, right? I need to run it for 4 times. The condition breaks. I come here. Now tell me, what is the value of mark? Since I have not entered here, what will be the value of mark? Tell me quickly, what will be the value of mark, guys? 0. In earlier example, what is the value of mark? 1 when we found it, right? So basically, mark is telling me whether I have found the element or not after completing the loop. Okay. Mark is telling me whether I have found the element or not after completing the loop. Do you all agree? Is it clear now? Give me +1 if you have understood. Okay. So I'll stop here. We have consumed more than the allocated time. We have another class after 1 hour. Yes, little bit practice is required. I'll run the code quickly. Not present. Okay. That while waiting for Isaac. I'll take the question in net class. We have already consumed 6 minutes of the question of the next class. Okay. So we'll do it in the next class. Any doubt, I'll clarify in the next class, start of the next class. Let us meet then. We'll stop here right now. Thanks, everyone. We'll stop here. Hope you enjoyed the class. Let's meet again. It's 11. It's 11. Next class is with 11. Okay. Bye now. Take care. Let's meet again. Next class is from 11. I hope so. It is 11. Yes, it is 11 only. Okay. Bye.